Overdose vapes. Keep your wicks wet and your coils tight. If you're looking for new flavors and all about the clouds, bro, filling up a clear road, we're dripping on the sub. On reviews for that juice, while Trav and Josh host, view it on YouTube and prepare for overdose.
Hello and welcome back to Beast Mode.
ODV!
We're Overdose Vapes.
Here it is, the vlog, dude.
This is the
Ep
vlog.
2.
This is the second one.
Episode 2.
The first one was
Welcome, yo.
received pretty well.
Sure.
Had over 100 views, but there was a contest, or not contest, a giveaway attached to it as well. So
No
we'll
giveaway
see.
today.
We'll
there will
see.
be one next week.
yeah, there will be one next week. We'll see if this one gets any views. I'm interested to see.
Actually, the first one of you to call.
Call in
you get the
to this
Mitten
live call-in
Vapors.
show. You get a Mitten Vapors band. Not really.
Giveaway! Alright, down to business.
Yep.
We love this because we can just say what the fuck ever we want.
Yeah,
You know?
this is really freeing to be able
We can
to
talk about any company, any juice,
topic.
anything, yo.
Yeah, it's really good.
So,
Feels
we
good.
got a loose outline for today. I think we're
Yeah.
going to go through how we met. Some of you people might be interested to find out, learn how we met, how we
Yeah.
became friends,
Mhm.
how we both made the dive into vaping,
Yeah.
quit smoking, and then we're also going to talk about how we got this channel started.
Sounds good.
The story of that. Easy peasy. And for next week, I think we're going to ask people to go to the group. We're gonna put a post on there. We're going to ask questions, so like a Q&A. So
Yeah,
next
like
week,
any
we'll be
questions,
answering
yeah.
any questions you guys got.
Any questions you guys want to ask, we'll do that, and then we'll try to find like a vaping related topic as well. What we're gonna try to do every time is have like something about us, and then something about like vaping and us. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And that's kind of like how we want to structure it for now.
For now.
For now, we'll see where it goes in the future and stuff.
And we're always open up for ideas, but keep an eye out for that post asking for questions, because
Yeah.
that'll be up there.
Yep.
In the group. If you haven't joined the group, join the group.
Yeah, you know what? You're missing out on a lot of stuff. Even if you just are part of the group to take part in things when we say go to the group, it's worth it for that alone. I mean,
Right.
we do all of our giveaways through the group.
Yeah.
And so that's like a big part of this channel is also being a part of the group.
Yeah. So before we get started, what are you vaping on, Travis?
Right now I'm using the SX Mini 60 watts. I got the Heracles tank.
Okay.
And it is full of strawberry cheesecake from Budget E-Juice.
Boom.
Yeah.
How is that working for you?
Pretty damn good, actually.
Working through that bottle?
Well, not
It's
yeah.
a big ass
It's
bottle.
a big ass bottle. But
Very cool of those guys.
It was really cool. Those guys.
I am on the faux. No, I'm not. I'm on the faux, right? The V4. And then I got the Goblin V2 on top of that. Chillin'.
Surprised you can remember the name of it.
I know.
When me and Josh first started this show, this is so funny. We just we're talking about what we're gonna do for the vlog, and we were talking about hardware and stuff, and we were talking about tanks that we used to use. Because right now, I use my tank, the Heracles, a lot. Like when I'm at work, when I'm driving, even when I'm at the house sometimes when I just want to have a no-fuss vape.
Right. Sure.
And Josh uses his tank a lot.
Always.
His Goblin is, and that's like
If
what
I'm
he
out
vapes.
the house, I got the Goblin.
Yeah.
A lot of times in the house.
Yeah, I mean, it's just convenient a lot of times.
So we were trying to figure out some of our other, big purchases that really helped in our vape game, and we
Tanks
could
that
not
we
come up-
used to use.
Yeah.
And when we first started this channel, we were both using this one tank.
Yeah.
And we
For
used
probably a
it
year.
for like a year. We used this tank, and we
Yeah.
could not, for the fucking life of us, remember what the
We
name
thought
of
it was,
it was.
fucking tits on a Ritz.
We
bro.
had no idea, but it turned out to be the Orchid, of course. I
Orchid
mean,
V4.
some of you guys probably already knew that.
Yeah.
Who've been around since the beginning.
Orchid V4.
God, it was so weird not to be able to. We straight blanked. It wasn't even
Yeah.
close to my mind. So
At the time, the fucking airflow was good.
it was good.
And then you go try a Goblin or a fucking Atlanta SV2 or
Any tank now that has crazy airflow.
That's like sucking through a straw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy to go back and try to use the Orchid. To
Anyway.
us, we're coming from like things like the K-Fun, which have
Yeah.
zero airflow. I honestly don't
We
know
never
how people,
understood how people love
I don't know how
K-Fun.
people vape it. I
I don't.
honestly don't. Like, how do you even get a drag off of it? Or whatever you want to call it, a hit.
Even back
airflow.
then, that's why we went to the Orchid.
Yeah. Because it had dual airflow.
K-Fun was whack, bro.
Yeah, and the Orchid had dual airflow and dual
IMO.
coils.
Yeah.
So it was nice. But yeah, it's garbage now. I mean, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
There's no way I could use it anymore.
All right, back on track.
Let's
How
do
do
it.
we meet, buddy?
We met actually out at our local college. We have like a JC kind of deal out here. Of course, I mean we're not gonna go to like.
We weren't at fucking Stanford.
We weren't at
bro.
Stanford or Harvard.
Chill, dog.
This is called Mendocino Junior College. It's not called Junior College. It's called Mendocino College. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Full
How hard is it to get in? Well, you got to open the door.
Yeah.
It's that kind of
Pay
college.
$16.
Yeah, and so we met in math class.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, like straight like beginner math.
Yeah, and at first we didn't sit together. I think I was sitting from this girl that I knew from high school or something, and she was crazy. And then I think one day, like the last seat, you had to sit next to me or something. And
Yeah, I disliked Josh when
Yeah.
I first, because you know
he came home talking shit.
He's a big personality, and so like and he's like this all the time.
Yeah.
And so like in math class, I was just like, and he knew a couple other people, and
Who's
so
this fucking
and so I was like, yeah,
clown?
who the fuck is this motherfucker? You know what I mean? And but my fiance, she was like, oh, you know, give him a chance. You know, he sounds a lot like you. Maybe you should just give him a chance. I remember her saying that shit to me, and
Yeah.
like, don't judge people, Travis. You're better than that. You know,
Yeah.
give him a chance.
just because he's weird.
Because I like went home going like, oh, there's this motherfucker in my class, and you know what I mean?
I'm out of fuck transfer, man.
Yeah,
This
like,
fucking
oh,
guy.
This guy's totally throwing me off my math game.
But let's be clear. I wasn't so sure about Travis either.
Yeah.
Because we're sitting next to each other. I look over. He's got a bunch of big dicks drawn all over in the book, yo. In the algebra book. So right then I knew this
forgot
fool.
about that.
I fucking pointed that out. Oh, and what the first fucking word this guy ever says to me. At the time, I was smoking, right, and so I had asthma and shit. And I busted. I was just we were in the middle of class. The teacher was talking or whatever, and I busted out my fucking inhaler, right, and I'm like, try to be low key and shit. He's all nerd. What did he say? Fucking nerd.
Fucking nerd. Oh my god. that was
And
so
then I
funny.
looked over and saw a bunch of dicks on his paper, and we were friends ever since. I
Yeah,
mean,
we've been fast
I mean,
friends,
we
man.
make fun of each other, and yeah, fast friends, because we had that class, and we started carpooling together, and that was the end of the story, man.
I didn't have a car at the time, and so like getting to know Josh was like a godsend to be able to get to class without having to take the bus. It was cool.
Yeah, it worked out good.
It was really neat because, you know, when you get a little older, like out of high school, sometimes it's harder to make new friends.
Yeah.
So it was, you know, I didn't have a lot of friends just because, like,
We got old ladies. We're
Yeah.
we're done with college. We're done with all the dumb shit.
you know, when you got a woman, you got
Grown
a
up.
family, you got, you know, you got responsibilities and stuff. It's sometimes harder to, like, make those social commitments.
But it was cool because we both had the same, you know, the same kind of hobbies, the same ideas about life. It was good.
Yeah,
it worked
really-
out really good.
It was like we had been friends forever. It really was. It felt like that right from the beginning, like that we had been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
We have a lot of similar interests, like Josh said, a lot of this, like, our minds work in some similar ways.
Yeah, sometimes it's crazy to think that we didn't hang out all through high school and all that. You
It
know
is
what I mean?
weird to think that,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And then, I mean, shit. Pretty early in our relationship, I invited you with a bunch of a couple of my high school buddies were doing like this camping trip, and
Yeah.
I invited Travis because he was like my new buddy, right? And these guys were like kind of my old buddies, and I knew we'd have a great time, and we did, man. He fit in perfectly, and
That really cemented our
that really
friendship.
did. That
you
really
know?
cemented. And all of my other friends were really impressed with Travis, and yeah, we had a great time.
It
Really
wasn't
awesome.
like pinkies out, you know, because it sounds like, oh, my friends were very impressed with Travis. It was like we were fucking hardcore
we were
partying.
getting hammered, bro.
We were getting hammered.
Yeah.
It was like I don't drink.
As a joke.
Yeah, as a joke. That was a whole nother
That was
vlog. That's a whole
fun.
nother vlog.
Neither of us drink, really.
Yeah, but
I
during
mean-
that weekend, we really did.
Mancation, baby.
And I think that sometimes when you kind of go balls deep on some of this, like, drinking and like, partying and you're camping, it really can help bring you together. And it really definitely did.
We really did. We had
Yeah.
a good time.
Yeah.
That was on the American River
Yeah.
over there in around Stack. Very cool.
Yeah, by Sac. What was that town? There was that little town right there next to it.
I don't know, but we figured
We made fun of it on the way back from ECC.
Kettleman?
No. Who knows?
Yeah,
Some
who
town.
fucking knows?
I don't want to spend 5 minutes trying to guess it. We're stupid.
So
We
that's
can't
how
guess
we
it.
met, man. College, you know, talking
Mhm.
shit. Just had a lot in common, and we both smoked cigarettes.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah. That brings us to our next topic, which is kind of how we started vaping. And actually, we were both smoking at the time we met, but I had actually tried vaping. Both of us had.
We had
In like around 2009, 2010, I had actually bought a Cigalike.
inferior products.
And it was just, it wasn't good. And although some other products were available at that time, people were already starting to use like mech mods and rebuildables and stuff like that. But where I was at, I didn't know any of that stuff.
Yeah, we live in a small town up northern California,
Yeah.
about 2 hours north of San Francisco. So
I had
we
no
don't get
access.
technology.
Yeah, no, I had no access to anything good.
Yeah.
And there really was even in that sector of like specialty vaping or
there really wasn't
vaping,
a vape world yet.
No, there really wasn't. Grim Green was already doing videos, which is fucking crazy to think about.
He had the first e-cig in his hands, probably. That guy.
I guarantee. Go watch some of his old videos. I know that it's weird for me to be telling you to watch somebody else's videos, but I actually do sometimes go to Grim Green's shit and I go play oldest first, right?
Just to see the old equipment and shit.
And it'll show all his old shit from like 2009, and it's crazy to watch the evolution of vaping.
Yeah.
It is fucking crazy.
Yeah, to watch Grim Green through the evolution of vaping.
Yeah.
I remember my first. Oh my god. I went down to our local pipe shop, right? It's a smoke shop. They sell marijuana pipes and whatnot. And looking for an e-cig because I read something about it or heard something about it, and I was addicted to the idea.
Yeah.
I mean, like that, right? And I went down to the local shop and I asked for anything that they had, and they had this one product, and I remember the name. And this was this is years before I even started vaping. But I tried this one, and it was called Nova Smoke. And and I thought it was fucking maybe some classy shit. I paid like $80 for this thing for like a little battery.
Wow.
And then the juice thing was just like, it was like some fuzz, like some cotton or like some kind of fuzz with like some juice in it. And then there was foil over it, and you had to like bust that foil and then put the cartomizer in. It was fucking crazy, and it didn't work worth a shit.
No, inferior price. That's what kept me from vaping. It really is.
For a long time.
Like the Cigalite that I bought in 2009/10, it just was like there was no vapor to it. There was no way to refill it. So I mean, there was no juice.
No airflow.
No airflow.
The technology hadn't caught up.
No,
to the idea.
it was a terrible product, and it made me want to smoke. I mean, that's what the end of the line. Like
Put
that's
that down and have a cigarette.
Yeah, it wasn't until like around the ego period that I really felt like this is something that I can do.
Right. The vision twist, or the ego twist, the vision spinners. Yeah.
Josh had actually bought one first. He had started vaping first.
The spinner, right?
And it was a spinner,
the Vision Spinner 2, I think.
And I saw it, and I was like, oh my god. That was the first one, I think.
Oh.
I think it was.
I think you're right, because it wasn't.
It didn't have variable.
It didn't have variable voltage, right? So.
But it was like, it just looked cool. I'm like a tech guy. I like technology.
Yeah, video games.
Yeah, and so he had this fucking like new like battery with a tank on it, and I was like, wow. Now that is something I can get into. And so.
And you were getting wisps. It wasn't vapor, but you would get a hit, right? I mean,
it looked like something was coming out.
Right.
It was awesome.
It was bad.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
And I remember I actually went online and I ordered from some straight random site. I ordered some batteries. They looked like Vision spinners, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they ended up not being, and some tanks and this juice, this juice, right? And I'm like, okay, so what kind of nicotine should I get? And this is a Chinese company, mind you. So it's Chinese juice, Chinese batteries and everything. And it was like 36 milligram nicotine. And I got flavors like clove and oh my god,
tobacco.
It was terrible.
And these flavors, they would come in these little boxes that had the flavor, right? And then you pull it out, and it'd be like this blank white, like little toothpaste container with the juice in it.
Yeah, it wouldn't even say the name of the juice on it.
It would just be blank white, like didn't even say 36 milli, like so you wouldn't even know, dude. I remember going, holy shit, Travis.
That was the harshest juice I've ever had in my life. It was.
You probably
insane.
still have some.
I have one bottle left.
Giveaway.
Yeah. It's like a dare. It's like 3 years old at this
36
point.
milli, bro.
And I think that was probably around 2012 that I first got that. That didn't. I mean, I got that. It maybe lasted a week until I bought another like a regular Vision spinner.
Yeah.
And a regular tank, a Vision
and I
Nova.
think we both continued to smoke though.
Yeah.
Like part-time while vaping.
I dual used for quite a while.
Yeah, it was more of a cutting down on your cigarettes and not smoking a pack and a half a day like I was probably doing.
Yeah.
I was a fiend. I mean, I love to smoke. I really did, and so that's why e-cigs are perfect for me and Travis because we still enjoy the art of smoking without all the harm.
I can sit and take a big old fucking chuffing blast. and I don't feel guilty about it. You know what I mean?
You don't wake up every morning with
Yeah.
fucking phlegm and yeah, man.
Besides the
My
physical,
asthma's gone, like-
besides the physical benefits of it, just like psychologically, knowing that what I'm doing is not as bad for me. Like when I smoke, man, there's a lot of guilt associated with that.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I felt bad about smoking.
You wanted it, and then like you'd light it, 3 puffs in, you're like, fuck.
I
Man.
felt bad
Did
about
I even need this?
about the way I
Ugh.
smelled when I smoked. Everything about it was
It's
just
gross.
a huge turnoff for me.
It's gross. But there's no guilt associated with that because if you're still smoking a little bit, it's your own journey, man. We don't judge. Like,
No.
we really try not to judge.
I gotta take this call. Let's take one quick little break,
There you go.
and we'll transition back.
So I think the last thing we were talking about, sorry about that break,
Yeah. Phone calls.
was
What are you gonna do?
not feeling guilty if you're still smoking a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has their own journey. It's a harm reduction thing.
Yeah.
It's you do what you got to do, right?
Especially if you're a beginner.
Yeah.
And you're still struggling, like you're smoking some, vaping some. Don't stop vaping.
Yeah.
And if you're an old school person and you've been vaping for 2 to 3 years, and you
Yeah.
slip and you have a cigarette,
Dude.
that doesn't have to be the end of your vaping.
Dude, who cares?
Like just put the cigarettes back down.
And nobody has the right to tell anybody else how their journey is going to go.
No.
So,
And there, you know what? We have enough guilt as it is in our lives
Yeah.
without other people adding on to it.
Yep.
And so every time you like harass a fellow vapor who has fucked up and had a cigarette, that makes it harder for them to come back to vaping.
true.
Some of the
I
other groups I
agree.
used to be a part of, like somebody would come on there and bare their soul and say, "Look, guys, I fucked up. I had a cigarette. I feel really bad about it. What should I do?" And people would be like, "Fucking kill yourself."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's disgusting. That's sick
Or
to
what?
treat people like that.
I think somebody in the group, they had taken a picture of their juice or something, and there was his mom's pack of cigarettes were sitting in the background, and he got a bunch of shit. Dude, read the fuck lax,
Yeah.
right? We all still know people that smoke. My mom still hasn't taken the plunge. She has an e-cigarette, but she doesn't use it all the time. I mean, relax, people. Like, everybody's got their own journey. We're all here to enjoy vaping. Like, I don't even care if you vape full time. If you enjoy it, you'd be a part of our group.
And vaping is a way as long as you keep trying it. See, because for me, like I dual used for a long time, and it just kept getting to where I was smoking cigarettes less and less and vaping more and more.
Right.
And I think that you can eventually make that progression to where you say, I don't want to smoke cigarettes anymore because I'm enjoying vaping more.
And isn't that the best way to quit anyway? Is to like get to where you're like, you know what? I don't want to smoke anymore.
Yep.
As opposed to, oh fuck, I should probably use this e-cigarette right now because I'll feel shitty if I smoke. You don't want to. That's not how you want to quit. You want to quit like, you know what? I'm done with these fucking things.
The only way, in my experience, only way you're ever going to quit anything is if you make that decision that I don't want to
Yourself.
smoke anymore.
Yeah, it's all in your head.
It has to be that decision that you like say, okay, look, I'm done.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
even
and it's great you can share vaping with friends and that keeps us going and that's awesome. But it has to be your decision. It has to be his decision.
And it's really hard when you get into something like a group where you get to know everybody, and then there's like I think there's even like this other layer of guilt where like if you fuck up and you have a cigarette, you feel like, oh my god, I'm letting all these people down.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be like that. you
Right.
know. Please just
Absolutely.
just keep vaping, keep coming back. You know, don't give up on vaping, and it won't
Yeah.
give up on you. I think.
And another thing I think that's important to note is that if you are full-time smoking and you go to like take a hit off of a mod or one of these hardcore tanks or a dripper,
Yeah.
you're gonna choke the fuck
It's
out.
gonna make you cough.
And that's
probably.
because the cigarettes have made your lungs so weak that vaping, it feels harsher, but it's not. Like if you'd stop those cigarettes for a week and then vaped, it would be way less harsh on your throat than a cigarette.
Yeah.
But because you are smoking, vaping is foreign to you.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
it is foreign to you.
It's
But
a
don't
different.
let that scare you. That first, that's crazy, because you get used to it.
Especially with the airflow on modern devices, it's more like inhaling like pot or something than a cigarette. Like a cigarette, you kind of, you know what I mean, like that kind of mouth to lung. But I don't know hardly anybody who vapes mouth to lung. I mean, really, very few people I know.
No, so it is different. You do have to get used to a couple different things, but you're gonna feel so much better. So keep going. Keep fighting.
We fucking believe in you.
That's right.
We really do.
If you ever need help, come to the Facebook group and share, man.
If you do something, you know, if you want to talk to somebody but you feel like you don't want to expose yourself publicly, send a private message to me or Josh.
Absolutely.
We'll totally talk to you guys.
Or make it public, because we guarantee there will be no bullying in our group. Okay?
If there is, they're out of there.
We will take care of it.
Fucking band hammers,
Absolutely.
son. Band
We're a
hammers.
supportive entity. That's what we try
We
to
really
do.
try to support and make everybody feel welcome.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can make life a little bland, but in this case, I think that it makes it a little safer.
Yeah.
And in a situation that like where people are trying to save their lives, we think that it's nicer to have something
Everyone's welcome.
where
to
people
stay
feel
alive.
safe
Yeah.
and feel like welcome.
We want people from different countries. We want an array of all different types of people,
Yeah.
all supporting each other through vaping and otherwise.
So vaping is like this one thing that we all have in common, which is great. I mean, it's really a great way for all of us to come together.
Yep. And stay alive longer.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. And not be a slave to the tobacco companies. That's what I love. So how do we start this thing, man? I mean, here we are talking to this camera fucking 6 months down the line.
Actually, it was all Josh's idea. To be totally honest, I had been fucking around doing videos on YouTube, doing video game stuff, doing like streaming on Twitch. Stuff
Funny
like
because
that.
I think of it as his idea. But
It's weird because Josh had actually said a long time ago, like when we first started vaping, Josh
we
was
could
like,
do that.
we could do this. We like watching other people's videos, like, man, I'd love to do that. Like do juice reviews and stuff.
And I watched a lot of juice reviews.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a while there I wasn't working, and so I mean, I was on top of the juice reviews, bro. And I saw some things that I didn't agree with. Right? That was the basics of
Yeah.
it. We saw a lot of people not changing their cotton out before they tried another flavor. We saw a lot of people not giving correct company info.
It was like the Wild West. There was just no consistent.
Some people that wouldn't
quality.
even look up the flavor profiles to like tell you what it's supposed to be. I mean, we saw a lot of stuff that was, and we figured we got personalized. We can do that shit.
I was really disappointed in the quality because like you get some really big hitters when you get up into like doing hardware stuff.
Yeah.
Like the people that I used to watch, people like Twisted 420, Rip Trippers, all those kind of guys.
Sure.
Those are all guys who very rarely, if ever, do juice reviews.
Yeah.
They only do hardware stuff,
True.
right? And so that's the kind of stuff I was most interested in.
And we weren't going to compete with P. Basardo and Twisted and Grim Green and guys like that with hardware. We just weren't going to try to even do that.
Well, it was like jumping into a situation where we knew that we weren't going to get any traction, and so it felt like to be honest, I didn't have a lot of interest in doing juice reviews just because I had never seen one done well,
Yeah.
and I was more interested in doing hardware stuff, but I felt like it was just what's the point because nobody's going to watch this stuff because nobody knows who we are, but doing the juice reviews felt like a new, fresh way to look at vaping, to come at this YouTube thing. Nobody else was focusing just on juice.
In a time when juice was really getting traction, I mean,
Yeah.
you were seeing 100 companies pop up every day.
And you would see all those guys like Basardo and all those guys, they would all do the same product.
Yeah.
And so it was like, okay, so we have all this information about the product we're using to vape,
Right.
but we have no information about the actual juice, like the most important part.
Right.
Arguably, I mean, because you could vape with almost anything, any product,
You need juice.
but you gotta have juice.
And it's only going to be as good as your juice is. I mean,
And I bought so much juice blind that I just felt like, man, if it was just like a competent review out there for this
Yeah.
juice, I could have saved myself $20.
there's just two fat idiots out there to tell me what to try.
Yeah, I mean, at least give me a heads up on,
Yeah.
hey, this is totally terrible, or like this is good in my opinion.
Right, because we're blindly buying from Mount Baker, or I mean, at the time though, we were buying a lot of Mount Baker,
A lot of Mount Baker, yeah, and that's kind of like what we had the idea to like. When we started doing reviews, we did a lot of Mount Baker because it was like that was something that we wished we would have had.
Yeah.
Was this like guide to Mount Baker, because that was like
Right.
this like monolith of vaping with 1,000 flavors,
And then them, and then also Suicide Bunny,
Yep.
because they were the first premium
man,
full line,
yeah.
both lines that we got. We got the crown, the King's Crown, and then we also got the Suicide Bunny one.
Pip actually sent us that juice based on an
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
I pretty much I emailed her and I'm like, oh, we have an idea to do this show where we just do juice reviews, and she was like, cool. Here's 2 lines of juice. So she sent us 30 ml bottles of both lines.
Yeah, we were going, whoa!
But you know, the crazy thing about that is that kind of links back to our vaping history is that Suicide Bunny was the first premium company that I had that I felt like, wow, vaping is something I can actually do.
Both of us, yeah.
Like-
It took us to that next step of, holy shit, they can do this? Like, it can taste like this? Okay.
Yeah, it felt
Yeah.
like a whole new world. It really
Right.
did. It made me feel like excited about vaping. And I really think that without Suicide Bunny,
Mother's Milk.
Mother's Milk
That was
specifically,
the main, I mean, because
Yeah.
before we got the lines, way before we started
Yeah.
this channel, we tried Suicide Bunny at our local building e-cig here.
I bought mini bottles of Mother's
Yeah.
Milk because that was the juice, and especially back then, a 30 ml bottle would last me a week
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
least.
In your little tanks.
My little tanks and shit. Yeah, that shit. I mean, it really took it to a new level, and it felt like this can be something special.
And if there's going to be more flavors like this, we want to be in it. Right?
Yeah.
We want to do it. Like,
And you know what? And when Pip sent us that juice, it felt like an omen. Like this is gonna work.
yeah.
This feels good. And we've been doing it for about 6 months.
Not bad.
We've got almost. I think we're
Up to almost 800.
yeah we're getting close to 1,000.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that it's kind of a niche audience. I think a lot of people will watch the hardware, and a lot of people don't watch juice reviews
Yeah. Per se. Right.
per se. I mean, I know I didn't because I never saw any that were good, and so I would watch us though. I really would.
Yeah, me too. I watched a lot of the videos and I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I think that we make some quality stuff, and I'm proud of
Yeah.
that. I'm proud of what we do because I think that we're offering a service to the vape community.
Yep.
And I think that not a lot of people are doing it. Go out and search for other juice reviews.
Yeah.
I mean, really watch some of the other ones. They're really bad, really bad.
Not all of them, but there are few and far between of people that are actually caring about what they're saying.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what we do, man. I mean,
I know ours aren't the highest quality as far as like the actual audio visual quality.
Yeah.
But we do go out of our way to really try and give each juice like a special place.
and we've never claimed to know everything. We've never claimed to be, have the best palates in the world. We simply give you our opinions. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
From the front to the back of the videos, it's purely our opinion. You have to know that. So.
Yeah.
That's all we can go by. We're not going to watch others' reviewers and give their opinions. We're going to taste it right here and give you our honest opinions.
I try never to actually watch reviews of other juices,
Right.
of juices that we haven't done yet.
Right.
Like if I know I'm gonna do a juice review, I don't like go and watch reviews of it because I don't want that kind of shit in my mind, like kind of tainting it.
Right.
Because I think sometimes when somebody tells you, "Oh, there's this flavor,"
You might get it.
you might get it
Yeah.
even though. I mean, you might trick yourself into getting it.
Right.
So I try to go in fresh with all these juices, but
Yeah, and for the most part, we try to give you the first tastes.
Yeah.
I mean, we're vapors, so sometimes we got to crack into something, but
it's like a first impressions kind of thing.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's not always. Sometimes we do juices that we have run through
Sure.
crazy amounts of, but most of the time it's first impressions. I like that format.
yeah.
I think because I think a lot of people you're gonna like live and die with your e-juice on the first impressions of your
Yeah.
customer.
Yeah.
Like if you don't like it the first time you vape it, you're not gonna vape it.
Right. And for the most part, yeah, we want to redo you buying a bottle, going home, cleaning out your tank or your dripper, in this case a dripper, cleaning it out, putting that fresh drop and tasting it. Right? That's what we're trying to recreate for you. Yeah. So
And I really believe that first sit down with a juice
Yeah.
is gonna make it or break it.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is.
for the most part, there has been juices that I've went away from and tried again, and maybe they've steeped into something or they just come across a little different. But for the most part, you know if you're gonna like it or not. I mean,
And it's vice versa from that too. There's been juices that I really enjoyed a lot on this channel.
yeah,
Where I've done a review, loved the juice. First impression was like, damn, this juice is great.
Mhm.
But then over the long run, it just didn't hold up, and I
Mhm.
actually liked it a lot less over the long run.
and that stuff's gonna happen.
You know, There's only been like 1 or 2 times that I felt I wish I could go back and redo a review.
And if that
because it
happens, we
changed.
usually try to comment on the actual review and say, oh, okay, well, after about a month, it kind of tasted this way, or we try to share that because we want to share all the info we got.
And sometimes what it is, we'll get juice and it will be like not steeped enough.
Yeah.
And we'll vape it and we'll love it, and then it'll steep for like another week or something
And
get worse, which is fucking crazy.
Never know with all this
Nah,
shit,
you really don't. It's not a science yet. It's
No.
not. It's just not.
That's it.
Yeah. A couple other things I wanted to mention. We'll keep
Mention
this brief. I think we've been talking for quite a while, but I wanted to talk about some places that me and Josh, where we started getting stuff from, like hardware, like where we bought our early stuff at, and where we buy stuff at, like now.
To save $1.
A couple places I used to go to were like Fluid Vapes.
Uh-huh.
That was a place they sell a lot of clone stuff, but now you can actually get a lot of authentic stuff. And that's something else that we did when we first started vaping, was that everybody used clones.
You had to.
I mean, you kind of had to.
If you still wanted to eat, you had to.
Yeah,
We're not rich men. We work in social services. We don't get paid a lot.
No.
We make it, but we don't get paid a lot. So you gotta find deals where you can, man, and that's a big thing we try to bring you to, is deals and good quality juice at a low price, like Charlie Noble, that kind of stuff. We love that kind of shit. Fair pricing, not fucking milkman and they try to gouge you because the packaging is nice.
Yeah.
I mean, so we try to get that to you. We try to weed through the bullshit, the hustles, and give you good quality juice at a fair price. That's what we're out for.
And nowadays, you guys are lucky because you don't have to use clone products.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many products available now
Cheap
that are of a
authentics.
really great quality, and they're authentic. Things like my
American-made stuff.
my
now,
Phantom mod here. This thing is fucking great. It really is, man. And it costs like $30.
Yeah.
Whereas a mod like this, the same kind of mod, a year or two ago, it would have cost like $130.
Right.
So, I mean, there still are really pricey authentics that are built for that collector's market. But now, if you want a good product that's authentic, it's not hard to find.
True.
Places like 101 Vapes,
Vape,
e-cig,
Vape Northwest, or Vape NW.
yeah, My Freedom Smokes. There's a lot of places out there that still carry some clones, but that are starting to carry a lot more cheap authentics.
And I know a lot of people are real nervous about ordering online and stuff. And just so you know, we've probably ordered together over 50 companies and never gotten ripped off. We've never gotten. I mean, they've made mistakes, but because you got to realize that there's only humans on the other side that are shipping your stuff. So there are going to be your slight mistakes here and there, but for the most part, I mean, we've never got clean ripped off.
No, the only time I've ever gotten straight ripped off was from when I ordered the Milkman, and I got ripped off. But they were actually really cool about it. It got delivered. It just didn't get delivered to the right address, so they were unable. They didn't want to They thought I was trying to rip them off. Is what the problem was.
You were just trying to get your fucking.
Well, I was trying to get my bottle of juice. So I actually paid twice for that fucking juice.
That's a pain in the ass, and you're talking how many years of ordering?
I mean, like
things
3 years at least that I've been ordering online.
Pretty good.
It's been really good, yeah. And even places that like Fluid Vapes has sent me the wrong dripper before, but they would have been willing to exchange it.
Yeah.
But I would have had to pay for the shipping. That was
Fast Tech. Neither of us have any problem with people ordering from Fast Tech.
If you want to order from Fast Tech, I mean, you just have to understand that you're going to sacrifice a little bit of quality.
And you're going to wait a little bit.
And you're going to wait.
But it's going to be cheap as dirt.
Yeah, you get a lot of products
lower
cheap.
than wholesale.
And you know what? I've ordered from Fast Tech probably 5 times, and each time it has taken anywhere from 2 weeks to a month to get, but I always got it. And I always got every single thing that I ordered. I never had anything missing.
Oh, God, what was that place that we ordered your fucking...
Oh, GearBest.
GearBest. Don't order from GearBest.
Just don't.
Just don't.
I mean,
skip it.
I know some people in the group use GearBest, and if you've had good experiences with them, that's great. Me and Josh, I mean, literally it was like 4 months.
4 months, yo.
I wouldn't, there's no way I would ever order it.
You bought the actual tank before it got
I ended up buying it, and then literally like a week later, he got it. That was fucking amazing.
So I would fuck with GearBest. But e-cig, Fast Tech, I mean, all those are great. E-cig's great.
E-cig's great.
Lightning Vapes for any coils or, I mean, any wire.
Wire or batteries, I like fluid or lightning vapes. I also like kidney puncher for wire and for batteries.
You're wicking, and you want to go with your cotton bacon V2?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Wicking vape.
Great. All right. Well, I guess
Knocked it out.
that's about it. I guess, huh?
Ep2.
F2 under the blankets, going to sleep.
Done for.
People, we love you,
Yep.
and we appreciate you guys joining us.
Yeah.
Coming through this
Especially you
little
jerks that just sat there for a half hour and listened to us gargle.
gargle.
Mm-hmm.
Next episode's just gonna be us gargling. All right.
Well,
Well,
thanks for watching. Thanks for
you guys
caring.
so much. Yeah, we enjoy it.
Know
I
that
hope
we
you guys
care.
do. Yeah, we're there for you guys.
Yep.
We're all in this together.
Absolutely. Keep on vaping, people.
Yep. Come on back next time.
And what?
And what?
Keep them coils.
Keep your coils tight. I don't
Keep your weeds wet.
We didn't do that last time.
No?
No,
Why not?
because I guess we didn't.
Huh.
We did it this time though.
Yeah. Peace out.